My daughter was just 12 when it started. At first, it was only psoriasis. The doctors gave her tablets and told us it would be okay. She trusted those medicines for years. Then, when she turned 18, she had sudden seizures. We rushed her to the hospital. They said it was viral meningitis. She suffered so much. She missed the life a normal child should have lived. And then, at 21, she lost her vision. That's when we finally learned the truth. It was a systemic autoimmune disease. She didn't just lose her vision, I lost my world with her. Maybe I could have saved her health if we had known earlier.
This is a real story shared by a Reddit post, and this may not be familiar, but here is a familiar story but you pass through. The year is 2015. A 22-year-old girl is performing to 55,000 people. The lights are blinding, the crowd is screaming her name, and what they cannot see, what she cannot yet name, is that her immune system is silently destroying her kidneys. 3 years later, Selena Gomez announces a kidney transplant. Her best friend gave her an organ to keep her alive. Cut to India 2022. An actor finishes one of the biggest dance sequences of her career. The clip goes viral. Samantha is everywhere. 6 months later, she posed from an hospital bed, myositis. Her immune system had turned against her muscles and the doctor had only just caught it. 2 women, 2 continents, 2 completely different diseases, one thing in common: their bodies had been trying to tell them something for years. That is what autoimmune disease does. It doesn't arrive loudly, it whispers for months, for years, until the damage is too loud to ignore. Your immune system is basically your body's private army. Every second of every day, it patrols your body looking for invaders, bacteria, viruses, anything that doesn't belong. When it finds something dangerous, it attacks and destroys it. The army gets confused. It starts attacking the very body it's supposed to protect. It fires your own joints, your skin, your kidneys, your thyroid, your nervous system. This is called autoimmunity. Autoimmune symptoms are unpredictable. They flare up, then fade away. One day you're fine, the next day your body feels like it's shutting down. You see a doctor, get a painkiller or anti-allergy tablets, and for a while the storm seems over, and then it returns. Sometimes months later, sometimes years, with worsened symptoms. 80 million Indians, that is roughly the entire population of Germany, living with the disease that is attacking their own body right now as you watch this, and a staggering number of them don't know it yet. Autoimmune diseases behave like a climate change inside the body, shifting, unpredictable, and often misunderstood until the damage is irreversible. So, how do you find a disease that refuses to stay visible? That's the question, the challenge of catching a moving target. Research shows that diagnosing an autoimmune disease can take 5 years on an average in developed countries and up to 12 years in developing regions. The challenge is clear. These diseases don't present with specific symptoms. As we saw, fatigue, fever, joint pain could mean dozens of conditions. Severe symptoms often lead to laboratory tests. The anti-nuclear antibody test, ANA, autoantibody panels, complete blood count tests, ESR, erythrocyte sedimentation rate. But even these tests are imperfect. The ANA autoantibody test detects proteins that attack the body's own cell. In theory, a positive result should pinpoint autoimmunity. In reality, up to 20% of healthy individuals can test positive, leading to uncertainty and misdiagnosis. The ESR test measures inflammation by tracking red blood cell sedimentation. It signals chronic inflammation, but it's non-specific because countless other conditions produce the same results. Meanwhile, patients navigate a maze of specialists, appointment after appointment, test after test. This is time consuming, expensive, and emotionally draining, especially for families with limited resources. Each autoimmune disease has unique features, specific protein triggers, and distinct genetic pattern. Diagnosis needs that same level of specificity, and the only way to achieve is to touch the core of the problem itself, to explore the genome and the proteome of the patient. By understanding the individual's genetic and protein level blueprint, we can finally pinpoint the cause rather than just treating symptoms. When the old diagnostic system starts to fail, science does what it does the best: evolve. The next era of autoimmune disease diagnostics aims to break three barriers: specificity, overlap, and time. The goal is clear: identify the right disease at the right time in the right person. Imagine your body as a huge orchestra. Traditional tests listen for a single instrument, maybe a violin or a drum. Multi-omics listens to everything at the same time: your DNA, RNA, proteins, metabolites, all in one integrated view. It's like giving your immune system its own Spotify dashboard. Instead of waiting for symptoms, these tools can pick up molecular warning signs long before a disease fully develops. This relies on a heavy-duty technology, next-generation sequencing, liquid chromatography, mass spectrometry, and computational models. On paper, it could detect autoimmune disease years earlier, but in practice, almost no clinic is set up to run something this complex. Multiplex planners catch cases earlier, track disease activity more precisely, and help clinicians match treatments to the biology of each patient rather than one size fits all diagnosis. If all of this exists, why does almost nobody experience it? Because innovation moves fast, but healthcare system moves slow. India faces a perfect storm when it comes to autoimmune diagnosis. First, access. India spends roughly $9 per person per year on diagnostics. The United States spends $290. That's a gap of more than 30 times. Advanced autoimmune tests are available in Mumbai, Delhi. But in smaller cities and rural areas, they are simply not there. Second, awareness. Most general physicians in India are not trained to think about autoimmune disease as a first possibility. They see common symptoms and reach for a common explanation. This is not their fault, it is a systems problem. Third, and this one is deeply underreported: pollution. Air pollution particularly. Fine particulate matter from traffic is now directly linked to autoimmune disease. A landmark study of Delhi residents found that people living within 200 meters of a main road had twice the rate of autoimmune antibodies compared to those living further away. India has some of the most polluted cities in the world. And fourth, stigma. In many families, years of unexplained illness leads to patients being dismissed as hypochondriacs, lazy, or mentally unwell. The social cost of an undiagnosed autoimmune disease is enormous: lost jobs, broken relationships, crushing self-doubt. Autoimmune disease is not rare. It is not a Western problem. It is not imaginary. It is one of the fastest growing disease groups in the world, and India is at the epicenter. But for the first time, the tools to catch it early are finally becoming available here. Faster tests, more accurate panels, AI assistants, point-of-care device for every corner of India. The gap between you have been suffering for 10 years and we got it in 1 year is closing. Selena Gomez had a team of daughters, unlimited resources, and a global attention, and it still took years. Samantha had everything and her body still went unhealed for too long. Most people have none of that. They have one overworked doctor and one government hospital and no idea what questions to ask. That is exactly why this needs to reach them. For the person sitting in the waiting room for the ninth time, still without an answer.